Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's virtual demo. We're going to take a few minutes to wipe down some equipment and let everyone get in and get settled. So we will get started shortly. Thank you.
And everyone, while we're waiting for Bobby to do his presentation, if you wanted to go to your view options and go to side-by-side mode, this way you could see his camera and his PowerPoint that he'll be presenting.
Thank you, Stephen. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Bobby Nebhut. I'm an application engineer here with Rhino Toolhouse. We're coming to you live today from Central Alabama, where it's about 70 degrees and sunny outside. We want to take the time to say thank you to everyone for being here and taking some time out of your day. We're going to present to you a product today that hopefully you'll find some use for, and we'll go from there. Rhino Toolhouse, for those of you that don't know, is a distribution company. We cover about 30 states across the U.S. and have 80 sales and application engineers who are here to help you and assist you in any way possible. So if you have any questions after today's meeting, please don't hesitate to reach out to us and we will talk to you further. As Stephen said, this is probably going to be best viewed in side by side because I do have a PowerPoint and some slides I need to show you. And again, use the chat to ask questions. We will answer and address all your questions at the end. So just type them up in the chat and we will get to them at the end of the presentation. As I said, my name is Bobby Nebhut. I am an application engineer. In my prior life, I worked as a process engineer for a major automotive manufacturer, and I worked for them for a little over 14 years. I'm here today to present Catalyst Solutions Tool Data Management System. Catalyst provides TDM, which is a software solution that is cost-effective, customizable solution for your data management and analysis purposes. This solution is great for people like me in my old life when I was a process engineer that had a lot of data from a lot of repeated tasks, and I needed to be more efficient and proactive in how that data got managed and how I managed that data and spent my time. So Catalyst was a solution that I personally used and got very comfortable with. So what can Catalyst do? Catalyst can do a lot of things. It does data management for tools, equipment, and machinery. Now you'll hear me say a lot about tools today, and the demonstration I show is going to show how a tool interacts with Catalyst. But don't limit your mind to just tools. Catalyst can connect to all sorts of equipment, and we will go over that, and I'll mention that a little bit more, but don't close your mind off to just tools, even though you'll hear me reference tools a lot during the presentation. This is real-time data analysis. As the data comes in, Catalyst is analyzing that for you. They can do operator panels, so work instructions, guidance, whatever your operators needs. It's a custom solution based on what you have need for within your organization. They can do status and bingo boards. They can do digital and-on systems. They can even do FIFO tracking for finished goods to track specific serial numbers and what pallets they get placed on, so you could easily go find them within your warehouse. Why do you need Catalyst? If you're worried about quality, Catalyst provides you 100% validation of your system and processes all the time in real time. If you're an engineer like I was, you get to spend more time on your production floor solving problems, real problems on the floor, and less time trying to mine all that data that all your equipment is sending you. If you use the tool management aspect of Catalyst, it helps you to protect your investment, know when to send things out for calibration and service, and optimize your tool life and optimize your company's investment. So how does Catalyst work? Catalyst is a modular software solution. It is all based around a server that is SQL based. So the TDM core or server is always at the heart of your system. There's a process module, or what they call a process module, that allows you to hook up different types of equipment to the system to be monitored. That could be fluid fill equipment, torque to turn equipment, leak test equipment, whatever you have. If it sends out data, they can monitor it and collect that data and analyze it for you. Another module is the torque module, which is probably the most common use for it, and that's because they are tool agnostic. They don't care what brand of tool that you use in your shop. In my old life, I had 4 different DC tools on my line. I talked to all of them, I collected the data from all of them, and I analyzed the data from all of them without any problems. So regardless of what tools you have in your shop, Catalyst will be able to speak to them. I spoke earlier about tool inventory management. ToolGuard module solves that problem. It can actively track your tools. If you're using DC tools, it can tell you exactly what station that tool is assigned to. Just by plugging it in and pulling the trigger, it will then start tracking that tool in that station. If you remove it from the station, it removes it from the line and puts it in inventory automatically. It can also help with your PMs because it actively monitors the cycle count and tells you when it's going to be due. The other great thing about that is it can then notify you when that needs to happen. So you don't have to guess or be 6 months late getting a tool service because the system will tell you when to take it offline. The other one is supporting modules. This could be production status, production metrics, and things like that can be monitored. Or if you do torque auditing of your processes, you can integrate that as well so that you can track an audited value to a tool value as it was shot in real time on your line. You can correlate all that data and validate your processes even more. So Catalyst is a modular system. Again, it is custom. Whatever you need, you scale it up, you scale it down to whatever your company needs. You can start small and then grow as your needs grow as an organization. So I'm going to show you an example of how a basic system works, and understand this is scalable and it can twist and turn based on whatever you need. So again, the heart of everything, that's the TDM server. You have to have a server on your network. It can be anywhere within your facility, the IT room, your IT closet in your particular building, wherever you need to put your server, you put it on the server, get it on the network. You have an operator panel. For this example, we've got an operator panel in the station that's going to help guide our operator and talk to the server as well. So the operator would scan a part in, the unique part number, serial number, or they can get it directly from MES. But that serial number has a unique feature. Maybe the first 2 characters identify what part type it is and what the process is. Catalyst can then say, okay, you sent me model A, so that's PSET 1. It will then turn on the tool for PSET 1 so that the operator can complete their process. If it was model B and that called for PSET 2, they can call that PSET as well. So then the controller works, the operator completes their task, they get feedback from the operator panel that they completed their task, and the data goes into the server. So what do you do with all that data? Well, immediately TDM can update status boards for you, give you real-time feedback so that your team leader, group leader, or management on the line can immediately see what's going on in that station. Or if you're in an office in a cubicle and you want to see what's going on, you simply pull up the web page that's from the network and you can see what's going on. If your CEO is 3 states away in another facility, but he wants to check in on your specific shop, he could easily connect to the network and look at it live from where he is right then. You no longer have to produce a report, compile it, put it together, and email it out to him. If you want the data to go to your MES system, that's not a problem either. Catalyst can easily talk to an external MES system and help migrate that data together. Again, it's custom. What do you want it to do? How do you want it to function? Now, let's say there was a problem with a rundown, a missed bolt, missed fastener, or something got skipped. Catalyst can immediately send out a text or email to you, to whomever you want within your organization, to notify them to go out and fix the problem faster than waiting for the problem to get downline to the end customer, the final assembly building, or heaven forbid, your actual customer that bought your product, for you to find out there was a problem. Think how much money you'd save if you caught the problem in-house as soon as it happened and could go isolate the product and keep it from shipping out. Catalyst gives you that ability. So what does Catalyst look like? I'm going to change my screen here, so bear with me just a moment. All right, so earlier I brought up in the example having an operator panel. Well, here we have a sample operator panel. You can tell here I've got team member, I've got a serial number, I've got a process cycle time. I'll show you that working. We can do language options if that's what you need. You can have one tool on the station. You can have two tools on the station. You could have it set up to be able to select multiple tasks if you've got a left side and a right side application. But in this application, we have a single tool. So I'm going to sign in because of my team member, I'm not authorized. So I'm going to sign in, I'm going to scan in. I can scan in by a handheld barcode scanner. I could scan in by an RFID reader. Whatever your company uses, whatever you want it to do, we can make it work. So I'm going to sign in, and now I'm signed in here. My cycle time hasn't started because I haven't entered a serial number. So I'm going to scan in a serial number here of 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now serial number scanned. You can see now that the serial number has popped up. And my cycle time counter started as soon as I scanned a part in. So I'm going to select the tool, and I'm going to run my tool, and I got 2 green lights. So immediately you'll see that I got 2 of 2 and everything's okay. Well, I'm going to mix it up here a little bit, scan in a new part. Now you'll see I scanned in a model BB. Well, I haven't selected my tool yet, so my tool is not operational. So I haven't met all the criteria that I've got set for this operator to do before I'll turn the tool on. So in this case, we have to select the tool. And as soon as I select the tool, you'll see now I'm running PSET2. And I know this is small for some of you on your screen, but here it's telling me I selected PSET2. It's giving me all my torque and angle parameters, and that I've got to shoot 4 fasteners. So I'm going to pull the trigger, and I get 1 green light and 2. Well, now I got an NG. Let me re-enter that. Okay, live demo is always tricky. Okay, so you can see I now have a red light here for my 3rd rundown, but now it will keep adding another orange block for every NG I get. It's forcing me to get 6 good rundowns. I'm gonna get this to be okay. And once it's good, it tells me, okay, you're good, scan in your next product serial number. Again, this could be scanned by a hand scanner, a line side scanner that's tied to your system, or MES could send it in directly, however you want to make it work. We're going to go now to the web page of the system. Over on the left, I'll just give you a quick overview here. Over on the left, you've got a device tree or system tree, and then you've got just some general shortcut icons. The great thing about this system is everything is available within a couple of button clicks, okay? So at the highest level of your facility, you've got us as Rhino Toolhouse. This is high level. So the dashboard here, which is completely custom, you can set this up to whatever parameters you want and display whatever you want. In this example, we've got previous hour, previous shift, current shift. And then we're looking at the total jobs and total rundowns. Total not okay, that could be NG, no goods. Whatever terminology you want, we can make it show that, and percentage of NG. So if we look at current shift, here, you can see that we've done 21 jobs. We've had 65 not okays. Well, that's bad. We don't want that many not okay. So my question now is, where is all that coming from? With a click of a button, I can easily come into that current shift, and now I can see all of the data here of every NG rundown that makes up this 65. I can quickly see what it is, and if I had a VIN number scanned in, I could easily see the VIN number or the engine ID or part number, whatever you want on there. I can see it, and I can go track it down and find out what happened. The graph down here quickly tells me that my problem is coming from this particular station here. Okay, so where is that station? So we're going to come down one more level, and now you can see we can group it off to different areas of the shop, different buildings on your facility, different zones, what have you. So I want to look, here we had 65. We're going to check coastal region. Immediately when I click coastal region, all my numbers change because these are coastal region's numbers. Well, coastal region hasn't had any NGs on the last shift, so they're not my problem. The problem lies with the southern region, and that's where I can quickly see and drill down to find out where my problems are, okay? So as you can see, now I can drill down one more level. That's just my station level. And then within the stations, you've got your individual tools. So I can easily click on the station level, and I can see station 1 here has 50 of the no goods out of the 65 that were there. So with just a couple of button clicks, you can get your data down and see what's going on in real time. By real time, we just ran tool 2. That was the one that was tied to the operator panel. And you can easily see during the demo, we ran 3 jobs. We had 14 rundowns, and I had 4 no goods. This is real-time data. If I actually want to see the numbers, I can simply click report. I'm going to just click find here, and it immediately pulls up all the data. Now this data, it looks like a lot, and it is because there's a lot of information here. But it's key because now I can easily see what tool I've got, what time it happened, what piece set was running, what VIN number was being built, who built it. That is key as well, being able to track your operators. Maybe one operator is just having a bad issue with a part and they're having trouble getting it assembled. You can isolate these things down to the operator and specific part. If you are an engineer or quality, you'll understand this scenario I'm about to give you. Let's say you made a change to the spec of the rundown. Maybe you changed the angle parameter because you did have an issue get out to the field and you made some changes to improve your process. And 2 weeks later, someone calls you and says, when did you make that change? On what specific part did you make that programming change on the tool? One of the great things about DC tools and open protocol is you get the PSET last change date. So you could easily come in and see that on this one right here, the PSET change date happened. And I could easily come here and give back to quality the body number of when we made the PSET change. So it's real handy in looking up data and being able to give you the information you need for your own peace of mind, for quality's peace of mind, and the like. Now, this is all reactive, right? I'm looking at it after the fact. So how is it proactive? What makes Catalyst proactive? Well, under the ABM Setup tab, which is automated behavioral mapping, you have the ability to initialize data or grab a large group of data and sample it. And Catalyst looks at all the data, the torque, the angle, all the different settings, and says, okay, what is normal? And it will tell you what it sees as the normal range for your data. You can then adjust that based on your specific company's parameters. Maybe you want a tighter torque window, or maybe it's too tight, you want to loosen it up a little bit. Whatever you decide to do, you customize it to fit your needs and you set your baseline. Once you set your baseline, you set up a recurring validation. So this one's set very small, 5 rundowns. Every 5 rundowns, it's creating a sample. But say in my old life, you could set up a sample of 100 rundowns once a shift. So that's about 700 parts built. So for every 700 parts built, I was actively inspecting 100 of them without me ever having to do anything. The system did it for me in the background. And what it would do, I'm going to select all these. These are all the samples that have been created. And this is an angle strategy, so we're going to look at angle. And I'm just going to graph it. So here is chronological, so this is oldest to newest. So here I see a big spike here and I don't know what's going on. So I'm just going to highlight it and bring it up so I can see a little bit better. But here between samples 99 and 100, you can easily see we had a 500-degree shift in angle. What caused it? What happened? I don't know. So that's sample 100. I'm going to close my window and quickly just jump back, scroll through my list, and find sample 100. Now I'm going to do statistical analysis. This just tells me what was going on for the sample, but I want to see what the actual numbers were. I want to see every one of the rundowns. I click the button and now I'm here. I can see what the device was. I can see date, time, what PSET was running. If we had a part number or serial number in here, I would get that as well. The operator, if there was one available for this process, I would know everything about that assembly so that I could go back and dissect and figure out what was wrong. Do I need to isolate the part? Do I need to send it offline? Do we need to tear it down? What's going on? It's a quick view of what happened. And as soon as that jumped up, it would have sent me a text message again or an email so that I could go in and quickly find out what happened. I would catch it before it got offline, before it got to the customer, before it got out of my shop. Because as you all know, it's much cheaper to make a repair early than to make it later. The sooner you catch a problem, the less expensive it is to make a repair. Another way that it's proactive is you can do default patterns. So if, wrong button, if you set up, you don't want more than 5 defects in a row, 5 no goods in a row, or you don't want more than 10% proliferation of no goods out of the last 100 rundowns. You can set those kind of parameters as well. And when you have one of those issues arise, it could automatically notify you by text or email as well. So there's many ways this can proactively help you and make your quality better. I'm going to jump to ToolGuard now. ToolGuard is a tool management system. Here on the dashboard, you can quickly see how many tools are in inventory. You can see how many tools are in service. You can see how many tools are due for calibration or service. When I come to the tool inventory, I get a list of everything that I've got. You can see that this tool here is assigned to station 2-1. If I moved it to station 1-1, it would automatically update for me. You can list all of your tools in here. It doesn't have to just be DC tools, and you can track whether it's an active tool, an inactive tool, whether it gets scrapped or whatever. Whatever you want to track, it can do. Any part of it. You can look at tool summaries. You can get lifetime cycle counts, the PM cycle counts, the average daily use. All this is calculated for you in real time. The PMs, this is a quick way to look and see how many tools do you have coming up due for service. So I've got 1 tool due this current week. If I've got 5 tools due 3 or 4 weeks out, I can easily look at what those tools are. I can say, okay, I've got another one of those on the shelf. I'm going to go grab it now. By being able to see this and proactively plan for your tool cycling, you can save yourself a lot of time and money. You don't wait for the tool to break down to go change it out. You can quickly plan for it, make time for it when the line is not running so that you don't lose production and you don't lose time. It's all time, but it's custom. You set the limits. You could set a tool to send out notification every 50,000, every 200,000, whatever your tool is, whatever your rate of service is, you set that up in the system and then it will notify you when things come due. Please remember this, Catalyst is custom. It is an extremely cost-effective solution. It is proactive analysis, it is scalable, and it gives you 24/7 monitoring. It is an incredibly powerful system. We're going to open up for questions.
Yeah, and everybody, if you do have questions, please type them in the chat window. We do have a question here. Can Catalyst validate or verify that all processes have been completed?
Yes, Catalyst absolutely can do that. You have the ability to set up what they call routes. So for a given model, if it has to have rundowns done on tools 1, 3, and 5, you build that route and then the system will monitor that. And if it misses a process on tool 3, it will immediately notify you so that you know that a bolt got missed so that you can go out and catch that product immediately, as opposed to 10, 15, 20 stations down the line.
Another question here. How hard is it to move equipment from one station to another?
Great question. I'm going to change my screen back here. Everyone should now see the web page. If you see here, I've got tool 2 is assigned to station 2. Well, let's say you rebalance your line and you now have got 2 tools in station 1, and you're actually taking this tool and moving it up. Well, that's real simple. I'm just going to click it, drag it, drop it. I've now moved that tool to the new station, and it will continue to report, and data is still accessible just like anything else. So simple as drag and drop. You can drag an entire station, you can drag just a tool, whatever you need to do. It's as simple as dragging and dropping.
Perfect. Another question here. How easy is it to rebalance a line with a tool?
I believe that kind of falls into line with just, like I said, just readjusting the tool, unless I'm misunderstanding the question. You just move your tool between your stations. That's not a problem.
Perfect. Can I print a report for torque results at a specific station?
Yes, yes. There's a couple of ways to do that. Here I'm clicked on this specific station, so I'm at this station level. So if I click the report button here, I simply get the results for this one station. Okay, and then I can just click export. It will export it out into Excel. You can manipulate that data then at that point, however you need to, and go on about your day. Another thing I did fail to mention, all these columns you see here, maybe you don't want all of them. You can easily click columns. Maybe I don't want the operator name. I just remove the operator name, tell it okay, and now the operator name is gone. You can add and change these columns to your needs. Absolutely.
Do you have to have operator screens, or will TDM just collect data?
No, you do not have to have operator screens. I've seen it personally in use without operator screens and with operator screens. So operator screens is not mandatory. Again, it is custom. How do you want your system to work? Do you just want Catalyst to be in the background collecting all this data and analyzing it for you? That's fine. If you want to integrate them into your process controls, we can do that as well.
A little bit longer of a question. Can Catalyst disable a DC tool on a no-K rundown result and or allow a max number of retries, and if then still no-K the results, disable the tool?
Yes.
Yeah, can Catalyst disable a DC tool on a no-K rundown or a max number of retries?
Yes, yes, they can do that. They can completely control the tool, when it turns on, when to shut it off, and yes, that is doable. That is doable.
All right. What do I need to communicate with the tool or equipment?
To communicate with a tool specifically, you just have to have a Ethernet connection. It has to be on your network. The tool needs to speak open protocol, and then they can grab all of this data through open protocol, which is standard for DC tools. You just need to be on the network. They can also retrieve information through digital I/O. You won't get as much detail, obviously, but they can even receive digital I/O signals and process those as well.
Perfect. Can I have operator screens on some stations while not having operator screens on others?
Yes, again, custom. That is what is so amazing about the system. It is flexible. What do you need? Do you just need operator panels on 2 stations? That's fine. If you want them on all stations, that's fine. If you don't want them on any stations, that's fine. We just have to know how you want your system to work and get it programmed up. That is perfectly fine, because even in my system here, Tool 2 is set to an operator panel, Tool 1 is not. So absolutely, you do not have to have them, and you can mix and match.
Can it talk to a PLC?
Yes, yes, we can. In my old life, we were communicating and sending signals back and forth to PLC. Yes, so yes, it can.
Can you put the product you're building in a do not build status and flagged for repair?
Yes, yes. I haven't seen it actually quite done that way, but yes. If they're getting information from it, they can, and you can feed the information to them that, hey, this batch of products is on hold, it's bad, don't let it be built, then yes, that kind of information could be fed to Catalyst, and then when they see those specific numbers, it could deactivate the tool, not allow it, give the operator some feedback saying, hey, it's the bad product, don't build it, send it to repair. So yes, they could do that.
Another question here. Can I get a full birth history from the system?
Yes, you can. Again, I did a high-level overview. There's another reports tab here, everyone, up at the top here. I'm just going to click it. You can set date, time. I'm going to just open this window here and tell it where to look. Okay. Now let's say, hopefully I pick a good number here that we've done a lot of demos with. Okay, so I just entered in a specific part number, AA123. That's the serial number. So as you look here, you get a birth certificate of every time from every station, every device, what happened with that product, who the operator was at the time, what time it was in that station, everything. So yes, you absolutely can get a birth certificate out of the system. I even could tell you in my old life, I would do a birth certificate much like this, and I could tell you when a product got reinserted into the line and at what point, and I could see that something had to have happened at this point, and they had to regress that part backwards on the line and then build it back up. So absolutely, you can see all of it. Everything's available.
Perfect. Can you buy just one station, or is there a minimum amount of stations you have to purchase?
There is not a minimum amount of stations. This is a very scalable solution. You can start small and then grow. I literally started with, I think, 5 or 6 stations and grew to well over 100. So you can be very small, very isolated, or you could be a very large facility monitoring hundreds of tools. So it is completely scalable and custom to whatever your needs are.
Does it have station-to-station control with redirect to rebuild?
Does it have state? Not sure I understand the meaning of the question, but Does it have, could you ask that one more time, Stephen, just to make sure I heard it right?
Yeah, does it have station-to-station control with reject to rebuild?
Reject to rebuild. Okay, I'm not sure of that terminology or what we're meaning, but yes, there is station-to-station control. The system, you can build in route validations and things like that to make sure that everything happens the way you want it to. And then you could easily back it up and re-enter it into the system, and it will still allow the build to progress forward. Again, if you flag that, you could easily put a hold on it so that it can't progress down the line. If I didn't answer that right, please reach out to us and we can have a sidebar and I'll answer it better if I missed the point.
Perfect. I think that's it, Bobby.
Is that it?
That is.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming into my home and giving me 30 minutes of your time today. Again, if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to any of our sales reps. We will answer your questions and get that information to you as quickly as possible. Tomorrow, I believe, is DOPAG. So if you have any fluid dispensing needs, please join us and learn more about DOPAG. Same time tomorrow. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day.